No.
We're good.
Good. Welcome into the Joe Dickey Electric Scoreboard. 6 weeks are in the books, and some surprising games, some close games, and a lot of blowouts again, Steve.
Yeah, there were a lot of blowouts tonight for sure. And a couple tough losses for some of our local teams that, a little bit shocked by Austin. Tom Fitch is going to lose another game at home. So I'm sure a disappointing game for them. West Branch was in a tight game, Lowville in a tight game, but for the most part, a lot of running clock tonight and a lot of blowouts.
Yeah, I think one of the games, and I kept an eye on it, was Mogador Warren JFK. Those two battled. That line just push. Mogador comes up with 2 big scores in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, 2 big scores in the fourth. Physical football game, playoff atmosphere there. I don't think it's a game that will hurt Warren JFK, but they need to get back up off the mat now after a couple tough games and try to get themselves ready for the stretch run, the Final Four.
Oh, absolutely. And it's a good game because that gets them tested. I mean, that was the second-ranked team in Division 6.
Yeah, that's a good football team that came in to Mollenkoff, and JFK did some good things. They did. I thought their drive and a long run to take the lead, but you have to give Mogador credit. Their playoff experience, they're tested, and a good football game.
Yeah, if there's one team, the game is never over until it says 0, it's Mogador.
No
that
doubt.
Team they could be down 30, and that's a rare feat, but they will play until the final horn goes off. Going to run down the scores for you real quick. We did have 72 touchdowns on the audible call tonight. Boardman, they were in their game against Cleveland Benedictine. It was tight at the half, 10-7, and then all of a sudden Benedictine, 2 quick scores.
Mistakes, a couple turnovers and some big plays. And Benedictine's awful good, too.
Yeah.
That's a good football team that, they may go undefeated. There's no doubt about that. Now Boardman's into that stretch. We talked before the show that these last 5 games will show where Boardman's at.
Yeah, absolutely. And the final from there was 38-20. Probably one of the best games of the night, Brookfield and Crestview. That one went right down to the wire. Brookfield, I think that's a big win for the Warriors, 20-13 over the Rebels.
Yeah, big time. Some big defensive plays by Brookfield to seal the victory. And that's a big win to go into Crestview and get a W.
Yeah. And the tough season for Mooney continues. They fall to Elyria Catholic tonight, 35-17. South Range, they just continue to roll on. Still perfect on the year, 41-14 over Girard. Anything through the NE8 is going right through South
sure
Range.
Looks that way. They can beat you in a lot of ways. Physical, control the ball, good quarterback play, lean on their defense, and Dominguez, their running back. That's a talented football team.
West Branch stays perfect, but boy, it was close. Allen gave them everything they could handle tonight, 37-34. And is there such a thing as an emotional win for the Tigers out of that?
I don't know, but you look at their schedule. They play a lot of people tough.
Yeah.
They do. Their schedules, their record's very deceiving. But, hats off to West Branch. They stay undefeated.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. From there, probably feel bad for Coach Seidel tonight. His team got the lead late, couldn't finish it. Jackson Milton comes back, gets them 15-12. Hubbard, they continue to roll on, 46-7 over Jefferson. TC Caffey, 195 yards, 4 touchdowns tonight.
Slow night.
Yeah.
A little bit of a slow night.
Slow night. He found the end zone a lot, but yeah, he's been excellent all year. Liberty shuts out Camel, 49-0. Lisbon gets their first win. It's been a tough season for them. Also a tough season for East Palestine.
Austin Daly had a nice game for Lisbon running the football. He did a nice job for a good win for them. That community's had a tough season. That's a tough game both ways. Hats off and salute to Lisbon on their first win. Yeah,
28-6. Beaver Local just continues to roll along, 47-16. They haven't lost since week 1, so they're moving. Canfield, they beat Marion Pleasant tonight, 35-7. And then a tough loss for Fitch. That 4th down call, I think a lot of us armchair quarterbacks might be saying, hey, Coach, what were
down
you
and 9 with the lead, probably somewhere like the 35 or 36. Do you go for it? Do you punt it? You're in no man's land there.
Yeah, it's
Coach
a tough call.
It is a tough call, and things got away from them after they got that stop.
Yeah, 31-21 there.
They play Canfield now this week, so it does not get any easier for us.
Absolutely. Western Reserve shuts out Mineral Ridge 28-0, and boy, Salem took out a lot of frustration tonight early and often.
The two of us couldn't even speak, and it was already 35-0. But back to Western Reserve, there's a team that's starting to go the other way. Tough start, 3 wins in a row now, 4 wins in a row. That's a good football team. They look good. I watched some of that game.
Yeah, they're moving along. Again, Mogador, Warren, JFK, 16-14 the final there. JFK with an excellent touchdown run to take the lead. And then they flip it to the fourth quarter. Mogador hits a big pass play, misses the extra point, gets the ball back, gets the field goal, and that's where it ends.
Yeah, that's where it ends for sure. But, yeah, that's a good football game.
Yeah. And LeBray, boy, they took out some frustration on Newton Falls tonight. 38.
Yeah, there were a lot of big plays and nice
Yeah.
runs in that game, and we kind of figured that LeBray would now they're in that mode. I always believe, and I know you do this for a long time, that you learn a little bit more about yourself when you lose.
Yeah.
And I think that you'll see that from JFK now again. Coach Perlogo does a good job, but LeBray answered the bell big time tonight.
East Liverpool shut out by Notre Dame Cathedral Latin tonight, 27-0. Louisville still looking for that first win. They fall to Perry tonight, 27-14. That is not your typical Louisville team.
It's been a rough year for them. Lost a lot of games similar to the one tonight. Moved the ball a little bit, but couldn't get it into the end zone.
Poland took out a little frustration tonight,
Mr.
too.
Fulton had a pretty good game for the Poland Bulldogs.
Jack was nice, 35-7 over Niles. Southeast goes into Wyndham, beats them 48-20. Southern over Wellsville, 32-20. And McDonald christened their new field. They
Scored
went
first.
right down and scored, except the next 49 points belong to Bo Brungard and the Springfield Tigers.
In watching some of them, the offense is starting to gel a little bit. Looks a little more fluid. Looks a little more like Springfield. And
Absolutely.
starting to hit those weapons that are starting to get that game time experience. So that's a team to keep your eye out on.
Well, and all of a sudden, it's 5 straight wins.
Sure.
Opening week loss against South Range, everybody's like, oh, boy.
Yeah, I say it every week. That just shows me how good South Range really is because Springfield's really good.
Yeah, I think Springfield would like another crack at
Absolutely.
them now, but
No doubt.
that South Range team they're impressive. Struthers shuts out Lakeview tonight, 26-0. Columbiana losing to United, 33-12. Valley Christian over Latonia, 34-13. And the G-men, Garrettsville, Garfield, all over champion, 55-14. And probably a surprise to me, Lowville, they still put up 31 points, but they gave up 28 against Waterloo.
Yeah, that was a little shocking for me. They pull out a win, though, and that's what they needed to stay in their playoff hunt for sure.
Just a few other scores to give out. Warren Harding over Akron St. Vincent St. Mary's tonight. That's an impressive win for the Raiders, 20-17. And then over in Matthew shut out Ashtabula St. John's, 38-0. A couple Western PA scores. Farrell continues to roll on. They shut out Sharpsville, 40-0. And Mercer beat Maplewood, Pennsylvania, 21-7.
Yeah.
So,
a lot of high scores, a lot of blowouts.
Yeah.
And you're going to get that. You're in the week 6 now. Some teams are a little beat up, and some of the better teams are starting to continue to get better. And tonight was one of those nights.
Yeah, absolutely. And, this is a tough one. A lot of the games ended late. We were having trouble getting a hold of coaches tonight. This is going to be a quick scoreboard show for you, but you got all the scores. I mean, you see where they're at. Be plenty of recaps put up by YSN throughout the weekend of all these games. I know Anthony will be busy to work on that tomorrow and the next day. So, but just an impressive night all around.
Yeah, no doubt. I thought some teams stepped up and answered the bell, and Poland to me came out and did what a lot of people were, probably expect them to do. That's a team that I think now with the schedule they open up with has a chance to get on a little roll and get into that playoff mix.
Yeah, and that's their mentality. We talked about that last week, DJ and I. It's now playoff season for Poland. Sure. They can't afford, A, to lose another game, but B, they can't afford to lose one to COVID.
No.
Because that could be the swing number.
That's a good call on your part. Boardman now we're going to see what the Boardman Spartans are all about.
Yeah, they got 4 tough weeks ahead of them.
For the Spartans. And
you got teams that have positioned themselves nicely, but now the next 3 weeks is that push. You want home games. Right. You want to be higher up
in that top 8. You want to get a home game. Yeah, those are the things that all of us at YSN will start keeping an eye on now because next week's week 7. That's unbelievable.
Yeah. Can you believe 7 weeks already?
I can't.
Yeah, it's crazy. But anyhow, we want to thank you for joining us tonight on the Joe Dickey Electric Scoreboard. Short one tonight. The coaches are out late. Couldn't get any responses. We're not going to tie you up, but you got your scores, got everything you need. And guess what? You got 15 minutes to relax, have a cold one. The the overtime report will be on WFMJ at 10 after. So tune in and watch that.
No doubt.
All right, thanks. We will see you next week on the Audible Call.